Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to another Friday night edition of the Pajama Party. One of those Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling. Happy Friday. How's everybody doing? Oh, come on there.
I'm doing
Iman.
See, I don't know anything past that. I'm doing fine. How about you guys?
I am well, thank you. Bon bon.
Okay.
Bon,
you,
bon.
Papa?
Merci
Okay,
beaucoup.
bon,
Bum bum. Au revoir.
Oh, you leaving already?
All
Au revoir. Goodbye.
Okay. Yeah,
Merci
you got about-
beaucoup. Au revoir. Elise, regardons le choc. Igualmente. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Still looking for that
Well,
pencil, huh?
Oh, that's what he said. All right, y'all ready to get into these hot topics here and the rest of the show?
Sure. Let's go ahead and get into the rundown. What you got for us tonight, Kev?
All right, hot off the press. I'm telling you. Hot topics tonight. Aurora police apologize after drawing guns on black women and minors. Also, black mothers on play date in D.C. confronted by Secret Service with guns. And also, New York Attorney General files lawsuit to dissolve the NRA. Sounds good. Hit and quit it headline. Jay-Z's Rock Nation partners with Brooklyn's Long Island University to launch a new school. All right, now. 66 players opt out of the NFL season due to the coronavirus. And record number of women of color running for Congress in 2020. All right. Cocktail of the week is the last word. What's popping with Poppa DD? Weird news. Bank customer washes money out of virus fears. Also, Rhode Island issues tax refund checks with bogus signatures. And Australian Outback Pub bans messy MU for bad behavior. I'm just saying with Redwine, check your sources. Living for the city with Poppa DD. He got a surprise for us, I'm quite sure. My Hollywood wrap-up tonight. The Kiss It list and the last word. So you guys sit back, relax, get your favorite cocktail, and we'll be back with the hot topics.
All right, welcome back to the Pajama Party. One of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir. Oh, it's time for the hot topics. Let's get it going. Who's up first?
All
Ketel.
right. Yes. This
What you
one
got
right here
going?
breaks my heart. I hope I don't cry on this. I'm telling you, this one broke my heart when I saw this. Aurora police apologizes after drawing guns on black women and minors. Come on now, minors. A clip is circulating on social media shows a young black family comprised of a woman and 4 minors on the ground. Several handcuffs with police surrounding them. So this happened on Monday. The police department responsible for the distressing scene that took place on Sunday in Aurora, Colorado, apologized, claiming that the traumatizing event was due to a mix-up. Really? So it was the women and her children were detained because police were seeking a vehicle that had the same license plate number as the one they were driving. However, the vehicle and state were not the same. Come on now.
Oh.
Okay, so a bystander, she was attempting to help the small children. They were between the ages of 6 and 17. I repeat, 6 years old to 17 years old. A woman later identified as the driver, Brittany Gilliam, was led away from the young ladies, 6-year-old in handcuffs. Now I saw this little girl, 6 years old, had the little princess thing on top of her head, and she was screaming. She didn't understand what was going on. She was flat on her stomach. Everybody was flat on their stomach. What pissed me off was 2 female cops, 1 male cop. The male cop stooped down to ask the woman, I guess, was she okay? The women cop didn't do anything. Does anybody have morals and scruples? Anything? What is going on?
How in the world would they be okay if they're laying on the ground being accused of something crazy?
That is crazy. So they said the police chief, Vanessa Wilson, she apologized to the family and everything, but that's just humiliation, and somebody 6 years old, come on now. So from what I've heard, they said that situations like this is high priority. Okay, fine. But you have 6-year-old children. What are they going to do? I can understand the parents may be handcuffed and you sit them down, but the children, let them stay in the car.
Yeah, really.
So,
how is a 6-year-old a threat?
Yeah, so, they're saying that, here we go again, quote unquote, with the training. We need more training, different training.
Oh, please.
Come on. That's just common sense, and that's just humanity. That you're not putting a 6-year-old on the ground. That just doesn't make sense to me. So Wilson also added that the mix-up may have been due to part to a February incident where Gilliam did report her car stolen. However, Gilliam's attorney told CNN that the car was returned the following day by the Aurora Police Department. The incident is now under investigation, of course, and an explanation of department procedure is currently taking place. Y'all need to do something. Y'all need to fix whatever's going on, because that shit just don't make no damn sense. I'm sorry, that's just what I said.
No, it doesn't.
No. You quiet over there, Papa. What?
No, I was just going to say, if the tag numbers were the same but the state was different, shouldn't the police have checked that? You shouldn't just be looking at, okay, letters, numbers match. Nobody bothered to check and see, it's a different state?
I guess not.
I don't understand.
Somebody's not doing
and then you got the children on the ground? I mean, come on now.
That's just humanity, but nobody has any humanity, apparently. Yep, that's what's going on. You quiet over there. What you saying?
Well, I want the audience to weigh in. If anybody has any questions or comments about this, if you're listening, press 1. You be put into the queue. The number is 914-803-4306. 4306. Like I said, if you're listening, press 1 and give us your opinion on it. You know what I mean? Because our opinion is our opinion, but we like to hear what other people think about it. Because I don't want to be so biased. I want to hear what everybody has to say, because I think in the world today, everybody has their opinion, and I think that to hear other people's opinion could be more interesting than what you even think. And it's good to hear what other people think just to know how they're thinking. Because I think we get blindsided by people that we call our friends or people that we think have our thinking, but they really don't. And I would rather somebody be racist straight up front with me and tell me how you feel. You know what I mean? Right. I will still be your friend. Yeah. At least I know now where you're coming from.
Exactly.
As opposed to you trying to sneak up on me. You don't sneak up on me. I'm a grown-ass man. How you going to sneak up on me? And I have seen every aspect of everything. I pay attention to everything going on. I listen to conservative radio as much as I listen to urban radio. So I'm listening to what Rush Limbaugh is talking about, what everybody's talking about, because I want to hear what everybody got to say about everything, because it allows me to know how they feel and what they're saying, and it gives me a better idea of who they are, because sometimes we got to shut our mouth and open up our eyes and our ears. And I love to hear when people just talk openly about how they feel. Don't be afraid. If you're a racist ass, then open up your mouth and talk. Don't be afraid, because, see, now you're a punk ass. When you're hiding behind something and you're so busy listening to black folks talk and you're living off of how they talk and how they feel, how they're surprised, how they're enlightened, how they're freaked out over Trump. But how do you feel? Talk about what's going on with you. And that's what I want to hear anymore today, how other people feel, because they're using black people as a pawn to they always get their opinion. Oh God, them blacks is blah blah blah. Those blacks. Well, tell me what's up with you. Like you ain't got no problems going on in your neighborhood. Like you ain't got nothing going on with you.
I hear you.
You know, like you and your wife ain't fighting, arguing, dealing with crap. You ain't got a sister-in-law living with you, ain't paying you a drop of fucking rent. You know what I mean? Like you ain't got a brother that's on drugs, oxycodone or whatever. Everybody got some stuff going on. So let he without sin cast the first stone.
All right.
So that's all I have to say.
Let's go to the phone lines, and we're going to take a caller.
Okay, Louisiana Supreme Court upholds black man's life sentence for stealing hedge clippers more than 20 years ago. A black Louisiana man will spend the rest of his life in prison for stealing hedge clippers after the Louisiana Supreme Court denied his request to have his sentence overturned last week. Now we should be up in arms over that. We don't hear that's at the Supreme Court level.
Yeah.
Wow.
I read that, brother. I read about that, and what they were trying to say is that the issue had to do with his past record. They brought up stuff that he had done prior to that charge, and they were trying to say he was a habitual, I guess, criminal or something. And so based on stuff he had done in the past, they were saying, well, we're not going to throw out this current charge because of his past. And I'm saying, well, okay, what you did in the past, what has that got to do with a pair of hedge clippers? And it was actually an attempted theft. He didn't even steal them. He tried to steal them. But that was 20 years ago. Hedge clippers? Are you serious? And he's serving a life sentence?
The man is 60 years old. And I did hear that he's 60 years old. He did it at 38. He's 60. We don't know what this man was going through. Like you said, hedge clippers. And they added, if he's staying there another 20 years, taxpayers are going to be paying over $1 million.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That just doesn't make any sense. Right. So we should be out there like we were with George Floyd protesting this stupid-ass crap because they're doing the same shit as they did when we were, in chains. I mean, you might as well say the man is in a chain.
Yeah.
It's like back in the day. It's just crazy.
But look at the stuff that Trump has pardoned his homies over the last couple months. I mean, we're talking about Flynn. We're talking about the other guy. What's this other crazy dude's name? The one that wore the little circular glasses that just got pardoned.
Oh, Roger Stone.
Roger Stone. Oh my goodness. It's crazy.
Maybe we need to call Kim Kardashian on this. Maybe she can draw some light to it. She might be able to help the man. Yeah.
Well, just going to say that Louisiana Supreme Court is still living in the dark zone.
And that Supreme Court, that Supreme Court in Louisiana is comprised of all white people and one black female. And the one black female was the one who said no. Who said yes to overturn it. It was the other white people who said no, let him stay in jail, serve the life sentence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want the man to rot in jail. That's what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
But thank you, Carter. That was a good offer. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, I had them on my gifted list, but we didn't pull the whole story. But I'm glad you called, brother.
Yeah, thank you for that input like that. But like getting on that other story, and we'll move on after this. On that Aurora thing, and they had guns drawn on these people on that Aurora thing. And Aurora also killed that young man not long ago that was walking home that night. That young boy that got killed, he had something a little mental going on with him, and he had a hoodie on and a mask. His mask looked like he was in. I just think that the fear is just so vicious. I mean, you lived your life in these little neighborhoods your whole life, and now you're trying to police people that you haven't never experienced. You're walking in the projects of somewhere that you never lived before. That's like me walking out on a golf course or a country club. I'd be just as scared because, I never experienced a country club. A country club, you say that word country club, and people may think it's a nice place, a lovely place you want to get a membership for. But hell, it's always been so denial on people of color that hell, I'm scared to death to walk on a country club. Shit, you don't catch my ass on there. I don't want to be there. I mean, people got to understand, too, and that's another thing, and I'll close on this. You have to stop thinking that, first of all, that black folks are going home to some vicious neighborhood that nobody wants to be in. The only people that don't want to be in that neighborhood is you. People are okay where they live. And stop acting like when people say the black community, when they say the black community, they talk about the black community as a whole world, meaning Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, anybody that's black in the community, our thought pattern of community, our spirit of community, not where the hell we live. And when they say Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, everybody is taking stuff so literal and twisted. And it's scary because it's almost like we're dealing with someone from a whole nother planet. And it's scary because who the hell is scared of who? Y'all the ones with all the damn guns. So who's scared of who? Shit, I mean, it's just, I'll leave that alone. I'll get back with that on, what's popping. But, whew, anyway, what you got there, Redwine?
All right. Well, thank you so much for your call, my brother.
That was a good one. Yeah.
What you got there?
All right. I'm going to move on to, unfortunately, we had a similar situation like Aurora that played out right here in D.C. There were 2 D.C. moms that were left with several questions after a play date with their children that turned into a traumatic situation. Now, according to the Washington Post, these 2 friends were taking their infants, to play in the fountain down at the World War II Memorial on the National Mall in Washington, D.C., when a Secret Service cruiser purposely crashed into their vehicle. Now, mere moments after the collision, a uniformed Secret Service officer pointed a rifle at the 2 mothers and the 2 infants and commanded the women to get out of their vehicle and put their hands in the air. He was quickly joined by more officers who also then surrounded the car with the guns drawn. Now, in about an hour after all of this happened, the 2 women, India Johnson, who's 26, and Yasmin Winston, who's 25, were handcuffed and separated from their infants. The women say that the authorities were not wearing any kind of protective gear, no mask, no anything to block possible coronavirus. So they out there handling them, handcuffing them, and all of that, no mask. So these women could have been exposed to COVID. They don't know. So the 2 women are now represented, thank God, by an attorney, and they're demanding that this whole incident be investigated. And they're saying that the details of it all, most of it, which has now been released to the public, Washington Post spoke to the women, and one of the mothers said that the officer initially told them that their car had been reported stolen. And didn't we just hear that in Aurora? Okay.
Yeah.
They said the car had been reported stolen, and that the suspects that they were looking for were 2 black men. So why the hell are you stopping 2 women, black women, with 2 infants in the car? So Miss Johnson, who was the owner of the car, confirmed that her vehicle had never, ever been reported as stolen. So while these 2 women are being detained and questioned for about 45 minutes, their infants, one is 6 months old, the other one is 13 months old, were left in the back of a hot car, of their car, left in the back of the hot car crying for 45 freaking minutes. What kind of, now my blood is boiling. Now they're standing outside questioning them and putting them through changes. The 2 babies in the back seat now in a hot car crying for 45 minutes. Now Winston asked if she could just go breastfeed her son during this time, but she said her request was ignored by these Secret Service officers. So finally, one of the officers called an ambulance to go check on the children, with their mother standing right there. But now you're going to call an ambulance to check on the children. This is insane. And the officers never read them their Miranda rights, according to what the attorney said on their behalf, and eventually let the two mothers go. And they said they were never given an apology, nor did they get answers to their questions about why they were even being detained. And before they left from the whole situation, the women did get the name and badge numbers of every officer that was involved. So the attorney for the women says that Secret Service acknowledged that they did receive a letter on behalf of the women demanding answers and an investigation.
Mm-hmm.
This is insane. I mean, ram the car? Can you imagine? You in the car with your girlfriend, you got your two babies in the back seat, y'all just trying to have fun in the fountain with the babies, and Secret Service going to ram into your car and then get out and pull a rifle out? What the hell?
Could you imagine the babies? It would traumatize, I'm quite sure.
I'm sure. They crying in the back of a
hot car. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, boy.
I just don't understand. I don't understand.
It's just like they don't want us to be here. Like we don't have any rights to be here, and that's not right. We have every right to be here. That's what's pissing me off. Well, I guess I'd be underneath the jail if that was me, because I'm telling you, I would have a fit.
Yeah.
You know.
I would have been hollering just as loud as those babies. I would have been like, look, I'm getting ready to get my baby out of the back of this hot car. So if you plan on using that rifle, now's the time. Because what you're not going to do is let that child sit in that car, die or choke, or have a heat stroke, or any of the other things detrimental that could happen to my child. That's my offspring. You may not love them, but I do. So you can kiss. Never mind. Let me stop. Okay. Let me take a sip. They got me fired up now. Does this stuff that make sense?
Yeah, it's getting ugly.
I mean, you rammed their cars? If you thought the car was stolen, why didn't you just pull them over and ask for license and registration and check whatever information? If you were looking for two black men, why were they even stopped in the first place? It doesn't even add up. Ketel, you may be right. I think they just don't want us here.
Well, you're not going to win that battle. Anyway, this next story is this is kind of scary as well. This New York Attorney General, she files a lawsuit to dissolve the NRA. Now, I'm praying for this woman every minute of every day, because boy, she is definitely opening up Pandora's box. Okay, because them people, they are completely nuts. Okay, they my goodness, that is a cult that is unbelievable. You know, people, I mean, these jokers sit around and brag about their membership card and their wallet that they have for the NRA, and it's just like, you know, I mean, membership's a membership. It's not to brag about, and it's a gun, you know, it's a gun company. It's not anything special. You know, it's not an American Express black card or what have you. You know. Anyway, New York Attorney General, her name is Latifah James. She announced that she will attempt to dissolve the National Rifle Association, accusing its senior leadership of violating laws governing non-profit groups. Now they're listed as a non-profit organization. Okay, now this group, man, I'm not even going to elaborate on, because I'm scared to death to even talk about these jokers. That's how vicious they are. I mean, the mindset of them about the amendment and the Second Amendment rights and bearing arms and all, I can understand, appreciate all that. Believe me, home protection has its purpose, you know. But when you got 10, 12 guns, you're buying 10, 12 guns out of the gun shows, and then these guns just happen to trickle down into the black neighborhoods. You know, they finally made mention of it in Chicago. They were saying a lot of these guns come from Indiana, near Chicago, and these guns are filtered from the gun shows in Indiana, trickling down to Chicago. You know, they'll go in there and buy them in Indiana. They'll come out with 25 guns, And then what they don't want to keep for themselves, they'll sell 5 of them down in the hood to a good friend that comes up to the suburbs to buy them, and they take them down. I mean, because we ain't going to those stores and buying no guns in most cases, especially people that's on the street, got criminal records and things of this nature. So the guns will come from somewhere. But anyway, let's get back to this particular story here. Now, she's accusing them, which they're considered a nonprofit organization and everything thereof. So if you have a nonprofit organization, that means that in most cases your student loans can be abolished. There's so many different benefits of having a nonprofit organization, even if you're a part of it, okay? So the news release Thursday morning, James, the Democrat, alleged that current and former NRA leadership instituted a culture of self-dealings and mismanagement of the money, that they're doing all kind of lavish situations, staying in all kind of lavish yachts and you name it. And they got records of all this stuff that they're doing at the membership's expense. And I'm
That's
telling
wrong.
you, everybody and his brother that you know who are gun owners have a membership to this NRA, and they brag about it. I mean, that's their national pastime where they're fishing, talking about the different brochures they got in the mail and stuff coming up and new guns that are coming out. And it's ridiculous conversation. Someone say they have nothing else to talk about except who got the biggest gun. Now, I don't know if that's the shortcomings for what they got between their legs or what they packing all these guns for, but it's really interesting, But all I have to say about this particular lawsuit is that for this young lady here, Latifah James, to watch yourself, because you're dealing with a company here that is so self-righteous, and they got everybody and their brother who is gun owners behind them. So just watch yourself, because we may want to do things based on how we feel and our job and all that, but our safety is such a factor. I mean, if you look at Medgar Edwards, the way he got killed by getting shot in the back in his driveway, just getting off of work from what he did in his profession, and was getting out of the car and going in the house to his wife and daughter. And this old farmer rolls up in a pickup truck and shoots him in the back. And who says what Medgar Edwards could have been? He's one of the great American civil rights heroes, and he was just shot in the back ruthlessly by an old Yahoo cowboy. And he only realized the importance of the person. The person you killed was more important than your Yahoo ass. And that's the sad part about it, And so I just say to just watch yourself. Because we're dealing with people who got mindsets from their grandpappies back in the late 1700s, early 1800s, through the 1800s. And the grandfather, the great-great-grandfather taught the great-grandfather who taught the grandfather who taught the father, who are now the father of the children today, and they got their same limited knowledge and rotation in their mind about black people and how they feel and their guns, and it's going around in that little peanut brain, and they think the same way with the Confederate flag and everything, and that mindset it just goes on and been going on for 200 years on how they think, and that's all they know.
Alternative, though?
The alternative of what?
I mean, should she just look the other way?
I just say protect yourself. Protect yourself. I'm not talking about her alternative or anything. You are a person that's going to work and doing a job. When you walk out that job, protect yourself, because you are dealing with an organization now that is off the chain with all kinds of stuff. They're vicious. The NRA is vicious, believe me.
What is his name? Oliver North. He was in charge of that organization at some point.
No, Oliver North was in the gun trade, and he was the one that was in the Contra
right.
guns.
No,
the person that was in charge.
One of those officers.
No, you think about the other actor, the one that played the Ten Commandments. He was the one running it for a long time. Charlton Heston. Charlton Heston used to be the leader of that crew.
I thought I read something about Oliver North being.
Well, he may have been associated with. He was, because he's a gun guy.
Something up in the ranks.
But he was involved with all the Contra guns. You got people now, and some of the people over in Iran, Iraq, are shooting Americans with the guns that Ollie North sold them 40 years ago. But the main one that played the Ten Commandments, Charlton Heston, used to be a big CEO of that group.
Well, I hope that she can, protect herself, as you said, but I hope she ends up taking them down, because
it's not going to be
not
easy.
Only is it wrong, but it's illegal.
It's not going to be easy.
As a nonprofit organization, you are not allowed to use the organization as your private piggy bank to just say, I'm going to go and take this trip to the Bahamas. And
yeah, but that's her
private...
thought process. But their thought process that you're trying to take us down. It's a difference from what she's thinking on a legal aspect and what they're thinking on the ignorant aspect. That's all
right,
I'm saying.
but I'm saying, but the law is still the law.
Yeah, but they're not thinking about the law.
That money is not supposed to be used that way.
They're not thinking
that
about
money
the law.
is supposed to be used to run the organization.
Right. Yeah, but you're speaking in a perfect world as far as
not for people to get their vacations and for them to just go have
right,
a high
but you're
time
speaking from a
and do all of
decent
that.
person's part of view, not a Yahoo peanut burner.
Right, but I'm still saying it's the law.
Okay, well,
it's not about being decent. It's the law. And when you break the law,
but
then
you're dealing with
someone
people
is
who
going
aren't
to come after you to say you broke the law.
But
you
you're dealing with people
pay
who
the price.
aren't decent, so you're never going to be on the same wavelength. That's why I said watch yourself. You ain't going to straighten them out. How you going to straighten out a Trump lover? You going to try to convince a Trump lover to vote for Biden?
Speaking of Trump, did you hear what Trump said about it? Trump said what he thinks that their organization needs to do is move their headquarters from New York and move to Texas. I guess Texas is a gun-loving state.
Well, there you go.
Trump
See, that's the support he's giving.
I think they should move to Texas and live a wonderful life.
Yeah, well,
that's
there
what
you go.
He said.
He's trying to avoid a situation. So, like I said, now you got Trump on their side. So I told you it's a vicious entity. Like I said, we'll move on. We'll take a little break. We'll take a break and come back with Hit It and Quit It.
Yeah, I just hope she gets them. We'll be right back.
Hope she puts on a bulletproof vest. All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. One who's Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling.
All right. So, before we left, we were talking about the young lady, Latifah James, and I understand what Redwine is saying about what she's trying to accomplish as far as to get them to do the right thing, as far as to what they're doing with the monies from the NRA. That the newscast was saying they're using it for their own piggy bank to furnish what they want to furnish and do what they want to do, but that's not what money is designed for from a nonprofit organization. They said that also that they were diverting charitable donations, that they weren't the charities were not receiving their donations from the NRA. So this is the legal aspect of things. But what I was saying was that they don't care about that. Maybe the leadership will have to account for that. But you got to watch out for the little members that have so much loyalty to that company that they would do anything. You know, like you giving a crackhead $5 to do something for you. You know what I mean? You got to watch out for the mindless people that just thinking that they're supporting the system as a whole and not thinking about what the consequence of their action. They just trying to save the brand, so to speak. I mean, it's very vicious, and I don't know. It's vicious. I just look at both sides of things today, and I just think that, she can be trying to do something that she think is very, thoughtful and quintessential to what it is she's trying to achieve for the world, for life, pursuit of happiness and everything. But then, like I said, with Medgar Evers, there's always the evil, vicious ones that's just trying to stop you cold, and that at that point it involves your family and your life and your lifestyle, and that's where you have to watch yourself. And we have to look at that today because people are vicious. They're a mess. They're horrible. Anyway, so that's where we left off. So we're going down with the Hit and Quit It. And who's first up with this?
We're going to Ketel first.
Jay-Z is in the news. Let's see what's going on with him. Jay-Z's Rock Nation partners with Brooklyn's Long Island University to launch a new school. Yay! He unveiled his latest power move, and this one is for the culture. Entertainment Mogul and his entertainment company, Rock Nation, they partnered up with Brooklyn's Long Island University to launch the Rock Nation School of Music, Sports, and Entertainment. And the first thing we're all wondering is how can we sign up? Sounds good. It will offer undergraduate degrees in music technology, entrepreneurship and production, also sports management. The school will begin accepting applications this fall for the 2021 semester, and Rock Nation Hope Scholarship recipients will be selected from a group of academically competitive, need-based first-time freshmen from New York. All right. A portion of the students enrolled in the inaugural Rock Nation classes upon launching next fall will receive full rides based on their financial need and merit. Pretty cool.
Wow.
Sounds good. So, doesn't say where it's located, but somewhere in Brooklyn, because that's where he's originally from. So, Papa, doesn't Jay-Z have a management company, a sports management company, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, his own, yeah.
Right,
yeah,
right.
He managed some players out there. Quite a few, as a matter of fact. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, you want to have somebody got money manage you.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
For sure. I mean, that's pretty cool. So,
all right.
Yeah, we got to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, shout out to Jay-Z and Rock Nation. All right.
All right. I know that's right.
All right. Poppa DD, over to you.
Oh, let's see here. In the NFL, 66 players have opted out to not play in the NFL this season. I guess all that bone and cheek and sweating and falling on top of each other, some players is just not for that.
Oh,
no, thank you.
All right.
I mean, you talk about what they call that, droplets that give you the disease. Shit, in football, you're getting more than droplets on you, boy. You're getting a whole. Whew. Anyway, a total of 66 players have opted out of the 2020 NFL season, which is due to start around the 13th or so of, I think it's a Thursday night game, so it's probably the 13th or 15th of September. I don't have a calendar in front of me. Due to corona pandemic, nearly half of them were linemen that ones that are up close and personal, due to tackling, due to blocking. You know, they know there's a lot of sweating, a lot of breathing, a lot of contact. So players with maybe some medical situation, they've opted out, and they'll receive like $350,000 of money that's going to be given them just as a charitable donation for the NFL to help them out during the season. They've given them the right to do that. All right. So the voluntary one that opted out, then they're giving $150,000 out for people that toured their salaries as well. So they're helping them out. So no team has come close to New England in losing players for the upcoming season, which begins on September 10th. Okay, with Houston facing the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. The Patriots already minus several stars who left on free agency, including, of course, Tom Brady and other people. They're out. But different people from different teams, I won't name all the people on there, but major players of all the teams, a lot of main people on the teams. The only teams that have everybody coming to the season are the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Atlanta Falcons, and the Los Angeles Chargers. Nobody from those teams have dropped out. Everybody from those teams are all playing. All right, so with that being said, it seems like any other sport, everybody has their own speculations. Some people have children coming. Some people have different situations where they don't want to take it home to their significant others or whatever their limit is. But all we can say is God bless them, and that was a lot of them losing a lot of money, $10, $20 million.
Yeah.
Versus on the NFL giving you $350,000 to live on for that particular season. And so I'd say to them, for you to do that, sacrifice that money, then if you feel like your health is more important, your life and your family is more important, then so be it. So
you better sign up for Lyft and start driving.
Well,
they won't get all that
66
money.
players. And that's not really a lot. You got to understand too. Out of that, that's just a little more than 4 members of one team collectively. So 66 players is not a lot. There's a lot of players that are still playing.
They said, I'll take the chance.
Man, I think a team has about maybe 5 on the roster, something like that. So 66 is almost a little more than what a team has on their roster as far as members go. So it's anyway. So stay tuned.
All right. Well, I got one for you. There is a record number of women of color running for Congress this year. Hey!
Hey!
This year, at least 267 women of color are major party candidates for Congress.
Ooh.
This is shattering the previous record of 179 women of color who ran in 2018. And with the candidates filing deadlines passed in all 50 states, the report reflects the total filed major party candidates, including women who ran or already won or lost their primaries as well, and those who still have primaries to come. So the number of women of color who identify as either Black, Latina, Asian or Pacific Islander, Middle Eastern, North African, Native American, or just multiracial are running for the U.S. House has jumped from 167 2 years ago to 249 this year. And for the Senate, at least 18 women of color are running, compared with 12 2 years ago. So the last congressional elections in 2018, of course, broke numerous records for racial and gender representation in Congress. And this year, a number of women of color have already won primaries, including, I don't know if you all read about Cori Bush. She's a Black progressive candidate and activist who unseated Democrat Representative William Lacey Clay in Missouri. That just happened this past Tuesday. Now, this woman had run previously and lost. She was a community person that became an activist out of the, the city just went out of my head, in Missouri, where the big rally, one of the big rallies and protests happened when a brother got shot, and then the name of the city just left my head. Oh, I can't think of it. But, I can't think of it. But there in Missouri, she was involved in that situation, and she became a community activist. She lost 2 years ago, but she came back and beat the incumbent. And this guy has been in office, the one she beat, for quite a while. And I guess the whole city said, you know what, we had enough of him. Give her a shot. And there's a few others. Another woman, Ketel Haynes, out of Tennessee. She's trying to become the first Black woman that the state of Tennessee sends to Congress. So we're wishing her all the best. So, yeah, there's a lot of them. There's 584 women are major party candidates for the U.S. House. That's like a 23% increase. So, we're looking at all the stats and all. So I just wish them all well. They're doing their thing. The women of color said, we're tired of sitting on the sidelines, leaving it up to these men folks. We're going to get in the game and show y'all how it's done.
Is that what it is, Redwine?
That's what it is.
Okay.
That's what they told me. So shout out to all the women that are running. Do your thing, ladies.
All right.
Do your thing.
I know that's right.
All right.
I hear ice.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Let's see.
So?
We're up to the cocktail of the week. Do we need to take a break and refill our cocktails?
No, it's the cocktail of the week. I'm drinking what's called Uncle Ernest, which is one of the first.
Ernest?
Uncle Ernest. He's one of the first unknown.
What is that?
Uncle Nearest.
Oh,
You know what, Redwine? You know what?
Ernest, get it right.
Wait a minute. First of all, if I would have said Uncle Ernest and would have flew, it would have flew. Okay, but
sorry.
Red Wine
I had
is
an
like
uncle named Uncle Ernest. That sounds like Uncle
now
Ernest.
you're making an alibi for just looking over my shoulder and
I had an Uncle Ernest.
All right, what you corrected me and I appreciate that, but
no, you did.
What I said was flying. Okay, it was flying.
I'll take it back.
And yeah, well, this is
I took it back.
There it is again.
I took it back.
Is this what women in Congress going to do? Speak over everybody?
Well, this is for the women in Congress. I'm going to give y'all the cocktail of the week, and y'all can go ahead and finish. The cocktail of the week is called The Last Word. It's 1.75 ounces of Martin Miller's gin, or gin of your choice. I prefer Bombay Sapphire. .75 ounces of green chartreuse, which is probably a liqueur. 0.75 ounces of Luxardo Maraschino liqueur. That's from an old, that's a family name, Luxardo, dates back to 1821. And also 0.75 ounces of lime juice. So we combine all the ingredients in a cocktail shaker and shake with ice. Strain into a cocktail coupe glass. So that's called the last word. So, guys, enjoy that. And what do you drink, Papa? Yeah, you can tell.
Anyway, this is thank you, Ketel. I appreciate you. Because see, Redwine, she's so educated that she needs to get a little more liberal. Anyway, I'm drinking something called Uncle Nearest. Uncle Nearest was a unknown black man who actually invented the distilleries and stuff in Tennessee years ago, and nobody knew him because of all the oppression that went on years ago. You know, we always invented stuff, but other people got the, you know, took the credit for it. Like, I don't even think Thomas Edison probably even invented electricity. I think a black man did it at night, and Thomas Edison came in the barn the next morning, the lights was already on. You know what I'm saying? And he said, what is that? And the slave probably said, well, sir, when I mixed this white wine with this black wine, the lights came on. And the first thing Thomas Edison said, did you tell anybody? You know what I mean? And from there forward, Thomas Edison allegedly invented electricity, which was bullshit. Anyway, but I'm just gonna put it out there. Anyway, we're gonna go straight into what's popping with me tonight. All right, let's clear this up a little bit. Now, all this Wyatt Earp stuff is going on. Wyatt Earp was a lawman back in the day, in the middle 1800s. Wyatt Earp had a bunch of brothers, a bunch of siblings, and brothers and sisters. He had 2 wives, and he was a great white lawmaker called Wyatt Earp. And this is how these people back in the day, what y'all was saying about what happened down at the World War II Memorial, and people drawing guns and everything, because Wyatt Earp was always ready to draw his gun on everybody. And see, what people think today is that no matter what they do, Trump's going to get them off. So there's got to be some mind thinking based on your ignorance. Your ignorance has to be protected by something. You know, it's always been told that, like, if you're going to be arrogant, you got to be perfect. You know, I tell a lot of people my job that I be teaching, and they just want to do it their way. And I'm trying to keep up with the traditions. You know, I've been there 30 years. I'm trying to keep up with traditions on how it works and why it works. But people come there 20 years younger than me, 25 years younger than me, they want to reinvent the wheel. And they're actually working harder. They're actually doing double work. They look at you being older thinking you're doing something the long way. Nah, I'm doing it the way I know it works, and I'm doing it with the tools I have to get it done. Because you may be in a place when it comes to you getting tools, they may be hollering budget, so you learn to work with the stuff you got. But these jokers come in and want to waste ink, waste this, waste that. They complain about wasting paper. Hell, you wasting ink. Ink is much more important than paper. You putting everything in red and yellow and blue. Hell, that's what costs money. If I give you $100 to go to the Office Depot, you buying paper, I'm buying ink. Guess how much paper I'm coming out with $100? Guess how much ink you coming out with $100? You coming out with a little small bag. Anyway, getting off the subject of that here. But the whole Wyatt Earp thing, these cops are obviously not looking at the news. They're not paying attention to the protesting, because we were hearing about stuff that was done just as vicious as Floyd 2-3 days later to other people. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We were protesting George Floyd in another state. Somebody was doing something else vicious to another black person while protesting was going on somewhere else. So some of these white cops are not watching the news. They ain't paying attention to the protesting. They're living the life the way they live it. They've lived in their lily white lives. Now they put a uniform on them, and they're policing the very same people that they never learned anything about in their life. You don't know anything about black hair, black style, black flavor, black culture. You don't know any of that, and you're scared to death at every aspect that you walk through. And you're learning that little 9mm on your hip as you walk through the projects to so-called have the watch of the project, you know that that's not enough for you. You may have like a round of 18 bullets on your person, a little gun down in your little, in your ankle gun, your gun on your hip, and all the little stuff you have as a police officer to protect yourself, but you're so scared that that's still not enough. This is why when you do stuff and they shoot people, man, the things that they've done with people, they've shot the assailant 10, 12 times, right? Mm-hmm. When they stop people for a stop, or a traffic stop that they killed unarmed, how many times were these people shot? They just unloaded. And that one gentleman that was there with his girlfriend, they were filming it. At the time, I forget his name, fails me now. But he got shot like 7 times. The guy just unloaded on him. And it's just so sad. It's so pitiful. I mean, does everything have to be so vicious? And why? And they say they need more training. Well, I say this all the time. That training should have started when they were 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. This is when life cultures and life differences and life diversity should have been implanted then. You can't implant somebody in something in them at 42 years old where their mind is already made up. Their lifestyle is already made up. Their choices of culture and their choices of what's right and what's wrong and who's below them has already been decided. So therefore, what are you gonna do? You're spending money now to send them to a class. Then they go to the class, and the first thing that they're pissed off about is the person that's teaching them is usually a person of color. Who else teaches them about diversity? They walk in there and there's a black woman, and the first thing the white man say, you walk in the classroom is, oh shit, what else she gonna teach us? You know what I mean? They got that whole Yahoo. Oh my God, I gotta sit through this. I need some coffee. You know what I mean? All that old Yahoo talk, that Yahoo attitude, that Yahoo I don't give a fuck about you black people. That's just what they think that goes to their mind. I don't need this. We getting paid to be here. Is this overtime? You know what I mean? The mindset is just crazy. It is so crazy because they've been raised in a world where they've been privileged to golf courses and different situations and different, country clubs, and that was at their back door. They're raised in Annapolis where they had rivers in their backyard, which is stuff that was not offered to other people. Of course you got it because millions of people weren't allowed to buy it, weren't allowed to even be there. So you got it. You was raised there as a child since 7 years old, so that's what you think peaceful living is. It's just a mess. I mean, look at the history of it. I don't know. It's frustrating. I talk about it with strength. I don't talk about it with fear or anything because I was a slave. I've been a dead slave. But just understand where it's coming from and just live your life safe. Live your life safe. Make sure your paper's right on your car. Go check your lights on your car. Try to find all the reasons why you won't get pulled over, and just watch yourself, That's all I got to say on that.
All right.
All right, that was a good one, Papa.
I agree with you. I think sometimes, we walk around with blinders on.
Yeah.
Some people, and they don't realize that the things that are normal for some are abnormal for others.
Yeah.
So, for people who are unaccustomed to being stopped by the police, when they do get stopped, they're freaking out. But for those that are accustomed to being stopped, it's just another day at the office.
They know what to do. I mean,
exactly. It's like,
but
all right,
you can't guarantee though, because you can get a jerk off that will be pissed at you for being a conservative Negro. You know what I mean? So you can't win. You cannot win. Don't think that I'm going to handle this right. I'm going to say all the right stuff. I got my glove. I got my proof of insurance, my registration. My car's a 2019. Yada, yada, yada. Everything is in place. And that could piss them off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's not driving.
You never know what's going to set.
Right. He's not driving a fucking Audi like you or driving a BMW or a Mercedes. And you work hard to drive that damn car. And he's got a pickup truck with a fucking gun rack in the back of it. So, that's his life. But he's pulling you over saying, damn, well, who's this? Whose car does this belong to? You know what I mean? So you'd be surprised. It's a mess. It's a complete mess on all four sides. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox.
All right.
Where are we here?
Well, let's take a quick break, and then we're coming back with the lighter side, the weird news.
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling. It's time for the weird news.
Don't laugh, Ketel. We know that. We know Redwine's from another planet.
It's time for the weird news.
Conservative. You ever hear the word, the way she says documentary?
Don't start with
documentary. He gives it like 5 syllables. Documentary.
Anyway.
My documentary.
Can I talk about the weird news, please? Por favor. Thank you. Now, my first weird news story, or my only weird news story. See, Papa, you got me all messed up. Okay, wait. Let me do this again.
Don't blame it on me.
It's all your fault.
So you're going to start the segment over?
Yes, I'm starting over. Now, weird news. We're going to lighten it up, right, Kevin?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, is a bank customer washes money out of coronavirus fears. Now, this one comes out of Seoul, South Korea. Money laundering is not a good idea, as a South Korean found out when he or she put their banknotes in a washing machine, trying to remove any possible traces of the coronavirus. Officials say the loss of money was considerable. The person was living in Ansan City near Seoul, placed an unspecified amount of 50,000 won, which is about $42 in bills, in a washing machine earlier this month. Some of the money was seriously damaged, and the person reached out to the Bank of Korea to find out if they could exchange it for new bills. But under the bank rules, on exchange of damaged or mutilated or contaminated banknotes, the person was provided with the new currency that only totaled about 23 million won, which was 19,000. Wait a minute, which was 19,320, according to the Bank of Korea. That must have been 42,000. Oh, okay. It said 42, but I think it was 42,000 is what they had. But the bank only gave them back 19,000. So the bank official said that the 50,000 bills that the bank exchanged, they only did it for half the value. She said the bank doesn't count the number of bills when the exchange or damage is too big. So bottom line is that this person tried to wash the money, jack the money up, and try to go to the bank and get it exchanged for money that wasn't jacked up. And the bank said, you jacked it up. We can only give you about half of the value for what you brought in. So this person lost about half of their money trying to wash Corona off of their money. I guess they thought it was a good idea. So then somebody asked the question, well, what about microwaving it? Will that kill the virus? And according to the bank, there was another person who tried microwaving money, and they damaged it. And they ended up losing money as well. And the South Korean bank was putting out an advisory telling people, please do not microwave, do not put it in the oven, do not wash it. And they were saying that disinfecting money was unclear as to whether you can do this. So they were telling people basically just cut it out. Unless you don't want your money, stop doing it. So they said antivirus guidelines in South Korea do not include sterilizing money in a washing machine either. So if you're thinking about trying that, don't.
Who does that?
And where was this?
This was in Seoul, South Korea.
Okay. All righty. Okay.
I'm trying to get rid of Rona.
Why'd you ask that, Ketel? You going to stay away from wherever that was? Or... Anyway.
You didn't wash your money, did you, Ketel?
Nope, I did not. Thank you for letting me know. I was about to.
All right.
All right, my weird news is Rhode Island issues state tax refund checks signed by Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse.
Really?
Okay, Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island. This is a true story. This is reported by the Associated Press. Rhode Island mistakenly sent out a 175 tax refund check signed by Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse rather than the state's treasurer and comptroller. Okay, the Rhode Island Division of Taxation used the signatures on test files. They wanted to run some checks first to see if everything was working on the sort machine and everything else. You know how the machine goes from the sort machine to the mail to the Pitney Bowes machine, if they still use that, to put posters on it and send it out. So Rhode Island Division of Taxation used the signatures on test files, which were mistakenly printed on the real checks. They didn't take it off, and they sent it out on Monday, a spokesman told WPRI-TV. Okay, no other signature line was printed besides the two, said Jade Bronson, Chief of Staff of the Rhode Island Department of Revenue, which includes the Taxation Division. Okay, Mickey Mouse is a cartoon character that was animated and produced by Walt Disney, which was his first big hit. Mm-hmm. The checks were tax refunds for corporate mostly, which was your, sales and uses tax and your business credit checks, and this all went out to different businesses that the TV station WJAR-TV had reported. The tax division had voided the checks and issued new checks signed by the general treasurer, which is Steph Magaziner, and state comptroller Peter Kazner, which would be able to, everybody will receive in 1 week. I would definitely keep that check as a souvenir.
Yeah, they should
personally
frame
myself.
that.
Yeah, I wouldn't send it back.
That's funny. I wonder how many people tried to cash it, not paying it any mind.
Yeah, that's true.
How many people really know who the comptroller is?
Well, I'll be honest with you, to see something with Walt Disney's name, well, Walt Disney is a fictitious.
Yeah, that's a
not
name
his
that
real
you
name.
know that couldn't have been right.
But Mickey Mouse, on the other hand, no. I'm just saying, Walt Disney, the brand of Walt Disney, to have that on a check, that's good. I mean, they own ABC, ESPN. Oh, my goodness, Disney owns everything.
Everything that Jeff Bezos doesn't.
So,
all right.
So you saying, Papa? So you saying Walt Disney is not a real name?
No, Walt Disney is the brand of the name. The gentleman's name, I forget what his name is, but that was the company name of Walt Disney. I mean, they use it now as the company name.
But that was his
the
name.
person.
Yeah, that was his name, Walter.
I don't know if Disney
Walter
was his last name.
Disney.
Was it really?
It was Walter.
Really?
Yep, I'm looking it up. Yep, Walter Disney. Yep.
Well, excuse me, I'm going off the top of my head, and you guys are going in the internet, so you'll always exceed me knowledge-wise. But
Walter,
I thought that could have been like
Disney.
McDonald's.
Walter
because McDonald's.
Alias Disney.
But I thought it could have been like McDonald's, because McDonald's is Ray Kroc. His name was not.
Yeah, usually the name
McDonald.
Disney is not. Usually the name is the word is attached to the brand as opposed to the people who was the original owner of it. But I guess Walt Disney is his name. But just like you said, if I saw something that said Walt Disney on it, I would cash it because that's very authentic. I mean, my goodness, they own ESPN, ABC. They own teams. Oh my goodness, everything you want to name out there. The Lion King, anything good, Toy Story, you name it.
All of that stuff. Hey, Ketel.
Yeah.
So was Mickey's last name really Mouse?
Yeah, Miss Internet Lady. We really need to. We need to hire us an intern that can pull up stuff like that we would know. That way we won't, make fools of ourselves in the process. So anyway we can drive. Well, but I'd like to put a word out as far as an intern that we can maybe hire someone, to come on the set and pull up things for us. They have to be 21 because the adult show, brawlers. Let's see.
Oh, here we go.
What else? What other qualities?
Let's go on to Ketel's story for the weird news, because Papa's getting weird now.
Okay. Give you a little history here. Let me see. This particular weird news is from Australia. An American Outback pub has banned emus, which are large birds It's a large flightless running bird from Australia. It's an Australian bird. They banned those particular birds for quote-unquote bad behavior and erected barriers to prevent the large flightless birds from creating havoc inside. So they're saying the locals and the tourists have been bothered by the antics of these birds, eager to steal their food from people in the Yarraka, a remote Queensland state outpost with a permanent population of 18 people. What? What the hell?
What kind of 18 people in the whole town?
It says population of 18.
Okay.
So they are being banned going in these restaurants. Why would they go in the restaurant, in these pubs? I don't know, unless these pubs are outside.
It must be.
Oh, the trailer park. Let me get it right. Visitors staying at the Yarraka trailer park have been surprised by the lengths of these birds will go to steal food, including pecking of fried egg off a barbecue plate and so on. They will lean through the trailer door with their long necks and pluck toast out of the toaster. Okay.
Whoa.
If you got a mug of coffee on the table by the door, they will drink all the coffee without spilling it. What? That's crazy. So they're just an eating machine. That's what they're saying. Yep.
And,
they
and
have
the bird
removed
is called
8
emu?
of them. Emu.
The bird is called an emu?
Yep.
Oh, like a Liberty Mutual, the emu.
Oh,
yeah,
emu.
The emu.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Make that.
Yep.
And that's a real bird
8
on there. It's actually trained.
It's a real bird. Yep. That's what it is.
Yeah, the one on the commercial. He's a real bird.
Yep.
I read up on that. He's actually trained like that, but it makes it
that's Lemu,
crazy.
Emu, and Doug.
And
yeah. What it look? They done made the weird news, so the emu.
yeah, but where did I don't know how Liberty Mutual, that's my insurance company too. How they come up with that campaign, man? That is so. Oh my God.
That should be
I
on
don't
the
know.
weird news.
That is so tacky. It's just so. Oh my Lord.
But
is
you
that
can't
where my
forget it,
but people remember that particular commercial because of that crazy ass bird and that crazy man. So
yeah, but if it's my insurance company, is that where your advertised dollars are going to a?
Apparently.
Oh my, you know what I mean? Come on, really?
I guess so. To an emu.
Then when I go to file a claim, you're gonna deny my claim that I filed because you paying it to an emu and Doug.
I guess so.
My people, Lord, they got all me.
Yep.
They got my car insurance, my home. They got everything belong to me.
Mm-mm.
Anyway,
as long as the emu don't have it.
All right.
Anyway, well,
that wraps up the weird news.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that was a good one.
We'll take a small break and we'll come back with Redwine with her segment called "I'm Just Saying." A sophisticated, bougie Republican Redwine.
We'll be right back after this break. Thank you.
What's your opinion? We want to know on the late night adult pajama party. Call us now on 914-803-4306 and tell us if you agree or disagree, or if you don't care one way or the other. If you've been waiting all week to tell somebody what's on your mind, now is your chance. Dial 914-803-4306 and press 1 to speak with the Pajama Party live on the air. To listen to the show online, go to www.apajamaparty.com and click the listen banner on the top right. If you'd like to advertise your business with us, get in touch on www.apajamaparty.com. So call us now on 914-803-4306 and press 1. We will get to you as quick as we can. Now, back to the Pajama Party Live.
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling.
Okay, well, we're going to turn the mic over to Redwine.
So I'm just saying? Okay. Well, I'm going to get right into it. I'm just saying, check your sources. That's what I'm saying tonight. Check your sources, people. I read a post on social media from a group that promotes black businesses this week. And they do a real good job, about getting the word out about black businesses, black entrepreneurs, and all of that. However, I have to say that they made some accusations against Amazon, and I had to look at it twice because, of course, it got my curiosity going. So I was like, wait a minute, you're saying what? Now, I realize, of course, that Amazon does make it difficult for smaller businesses to get their fair share of the market, and there's a lot of people who wish that Amazon would just go away. However, you still got to be fair. So this post went on to say that Amazon had taken a black slogan from a black-owned company and printed it and sold it as their own product. And it wasn't clear whether the black-owned company had mentioned if they had secured a copyright or trademark or any of that for this particular slogan. So I was all ready to get all fired up, and start protesting Amazon and rally the troops and all of this. And then I said, wait, let me check the sources. Let me find out really what's going on. Now, that was just what a social media post said. So I said, all right, before I jump on the bandwagon, check it out. So I started reading and doing some research, and come to find out this particular slogan, which was hella black, what was the thing? It was hella black something. But I go to look it up, and turns out it wasn't Amazon that printed it. It was a group of different companies who printed the slogan and were selling it on Amazon. But it was not an Amazon product. Because Amazon, has their own products, their own brand, and then, of course, they're a platform for a lot of companies. Thousands and thousands of vendors and stuff sell their stuff on Amazon. So in this case, it was not Amazon who hijacked this slogan. It was other companies. So if you're expecting Amazon to go and check all of this stuff, I don't think that's really what they're in the business of doing. They host companies that sell products. As long as you're not doing something that looks illegal, or if you're doing like knockoffs of designer stuff, they'll flag that. But if you just throw some T-shirts out there and say, my company is ABC and I'm selling hella black, hella proud T-shirts, they're like, all right, cool. As long as we get our share off the top, you can sell whatever you like, print whatever you like. So this particular social media post was really in the wrong this time. And the point I'm getting at is that before we jump on the bandwagon and start slamming and smearing any company, you really need to check your sources and find out what's really the truth. So let's not be so quick to judge and start picketing and start posting and reposting and tweeting and retweeting and calling people and doing all this stuff to say don't buy from this company or don't support this particular company. You really need to slow your roll and check your sources. So that's the lesson. I'm just saying, before you get on, folks, check your sources. Because you know how some people say, if you come for me, I will answer. So don't come for these companies and be all loud and wrong. Check your sources first. Because if you come for me, I got something for you. So if you come for me, you better be correct. That's all I'm saying. Poppa DD. This is Redwine, and I'm just saying, word to the wise, before you try to put somebody in check and throw them under the bus, you better check your sources. That's all I got for you. I'm just saying.
Okay. So.
Here we go.
The moral of the story is that.
Check your sources.
I understand that, but at what point do we give a damn about Amazon?
It's not about Amazon. That just happened to be the example. I'm saying whoever it is, before you jump on somebody, whether it's a person, a company.
I understand that.
Whatever.
And I can appreciate that analogy, but all I'm saying is that when we're talking about people like Amazon, Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, now coming into Wegmans, we're talking about people that that has smashed the hell out of people for years. Over the last, time flies. Let's say last 10 years. Do you know how many mom and pop hardware stores that Lowe's and Home Depot's put out of business?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay. Do you realize how many small businesses that Amazon has put out of business? Many. They have sucked the life out of people. I mean, nowadays, in order to do something, then when you try to add them into what it is I'm not contradicting your story. I'm just saying the fact that I would have no sympathy for them. I use them myself personally when I need something. Only when I need something. I need something quick. I need it now. All right, I have nobody else to rely on because you got the market. But I am not going to stand up for their ass in anything. You know what I mean? It's not. They just don't. They've gotten a Bezos. Don't even know. He don't even know what to do with himself anymore. You know what I mean? He divorced his wife because what did you find, a new piece of ass? I mean, what was that about? All the money you got, you gave her all your money, all the money. I mean, to prove what? You know, and how are you and that woman that you lost your wife over? How y'all doing now? You know what I mean? I just think you did it because you can, or because you had the power. But what is power? Because see, after a while, everything gets old. You know, the only thing constant in life is change, and after a while, that'll be somebody else will come along and replace them, or his children or grandchildren come along and fuck that business up.
I hear what you're saying.
You know what I mean? So.
But I'm saying it's not about defending Amazon or any other big box store. It sounded like
you were,
No,
I'm making conversation, but...
No, I'm just saying that I don't want that to be what you take away from what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you were sounding like...
It just happened to be a story that had to do with someone saying Amazon did black businesses wrong.
Right, but if you were talking about...
in that particular instance, Amazon was not guilty.
Yeah, but if you were talking about any other corporations that did that, I would understand and go along with it. But the fact that you implemented a multi-billion-dollar company in the mix of that, I don't have no sympathy to them because they can do stuff like that if they wanted to. You know, they can do. Look at Donald Trump. He lived his life just suing people. Like they called his lawyer the fixer. Because all he would do is what he wanted to do, and when he got in trouble, he'd sick the lawyer on him. And if you're a poor person,
if you're wrong, you're wrong, and if you're not, then you shouldn't be accused of being wrong.
Okay, well then don't put billionaires in the mix on that. Let's talk about regular people.
And that's my example.
When you implement
I'm gonna make my example
but
how I
if you put billionaires,
I'm gonna make my example how I want.
I hope
if you don't like Amazon, that's cool.
I didn't say that.
I'm not saying that I'm a lover of Amazon. I'm saying it wouldn't matter if it was Joe Bob's store on the corner. If somebody wrote some information and said Joe Bob stole some stuff from a black business and ran it as their own and turned out that was not true, I would say the very same thing.
Right, then we can talk about Joe Bob because Joe Bob is normal.
But I was using a real example.
Amazon.
It just happened to be Amazon, but it was still a real life example.
Okay, anyway, we're going to leave it alone. Ketel, you out there still?
I'm still here. I want to have to be referee or what? Up? I got to be referee tonight?
You know.
Oh, Papa didn't like my example, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm not trying to defend Amazon, because Amazon is, they've done a lot of stuff. But in this case, they didn't do it this time.
Okay.
They probably did it 99 other times, but they didn't do it this time.
Okay.
Okay.
Like I said, Amazon and Disney, the Lion King has a song called In the Jungle, the Quiet Jungle, the Lion Speaks Tonight.
Mm-hmm.
That song was written by, black people years and years ago. They never got the credit, nor did Disney ever pay them a dime for using that. And it was in The Lion King, which made billions. And so what I'm saying is kind of Walt Disney, Amazon, Home Depot, Lowe's, I've got no sympathy for these people. These people have squeezed the juice out of Joker's choker, man. So I'm not, anyway. I'm going to leave that alone. How easy we forget. Yeah, I'm going to get off my soapbox.
You want to take a little CC break?
We can take a break because I'm about to choke. I'm about to, talk to old girl. All right, we'll take a break.
Ketel, better get your boy. All right.
Now, we'll take a break and get back with her. So I'm about to,
Yeah. All right.
All right, welcome back to the Pajama Party. I'm your host, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir.
Okay, that's Redwine screaming from the pantry. She's back there feeding her alcoholism. Anyway,
you should talk.
We're going to get on. My segment here called Living for the City. I want to talk about Meghan McCain. You know Meghan McCain? Meghan McCain is one of the voices on The View. Okay?
That's your girl.
She's the daughter of John McCain, who lost against Barack in the, who did he beat first? Did he beat Romney first or he beat McCain first? I think he beat McCain first. Because McCain came out with that female. What's her name?
Sarah
Palin or?
Palin.
Palin, yeah. Her and her husband divorced, by the way.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, it was quiet, but yeah, they I don't know who got tired of who, but they're divorced now. So she's a single woman. And she's still hanging out with
Papa. You know, she can see Russia from her yard,
And she puts lipstick on pigs and everything else. Anyway, but Meghan McCain and Whoopi got into it today. It was probably a rerun. They were talking about something from the fall or whatever. But anyway, they were talking about, no, it wasn't rerun. They were talking about the pandemic, and she was saying how everybody jumps on Republicans for not wearing masks and everything. But then she said nobody said anything during the Black Lives Matter issue where all the protesters out there, and she didn't see a lot of masks on some people out there. And she said nobody speaks on that. She said, why do they get a pass? So Meghan really was showing her true colors, which she does every now and then. She tried to act like she's unified with the other ladies on The View, but then her Republican, squeaky toy squeaks out every now and then. You hear a little rubber ducky squeak, and she can't really hide it, And she was saying other things today also about the whole Karen situation, what they call the white girls Karen, for ratting on black people for doing stuff, selling water and stuff like that. They got to showing the white people as they're going off for they're flagging blacks for doing stuff. And she had issue with that. She said, well, what nobody talks about when black people do. I mean, she was in rare form today showing her true whiteness. It was unbelievable. I was like, wow. I mean, and like I said, you never know. And I'm only saying that to say that you never know. Because you look at The View 3 out of 5 days, and Meghan is talking to, Whoopi and all of them, and they got a general conversation that's even keel and all that. But every now and then, Meghan will come out and show her Republican whiteness in the rarest form because she knows that her people is listening to her, so she has to represent. The same with the way people when they praising Donald Trump, because they know Donald Trump is listening, so they throw praise at him. I mean, I've heard people talk about Trump on Meet the Press and all that, and it's almost like they know that Donald Trump is listening because they throw all this praise out for him, and he's doing a great job and all that. I mean, it's almost like if they say something bad about him, I don't know whether he's going to crucify their ass or what the underlining consequences is for saying something bad about Trump and the way people are talking. But it's so interesting because looking at his age and where he is in life and his whole situation where he lost half his cabinet, this is the only president I know where half his cabinet jobs still aren't even filled. Now, Barack had a person who was in charge of this, director of this, administrator of this. He filled every job that the government is paying for a president to have. Trump only has about 60% of his jobs filled. I mean, he has all his cabinet jobs filled, but all the other mediocre type jobs or support jobs that support the cabinet jobs aren't filled because, for one, he can't get people to work for him, or he's firing people so fast that nobody's really hanging around. The only people Trump really has now in this corner is the gentleman Barr and the Treasury guy, which go to show you that all Trump always surrounds himself with is lawyers and money people. If you notice that. Okay, what's the Treasurer's name? Mnuchin. Redwine knows him well. We won't say why, but she knows him well.
We used to date.
Mnuchin and Barr, who is a district attorney, which means he's in charge of all the lawyers, all the cops, all the everything. He's the head lawman of the world. And who is his name? Mnuchin. Mnuchin is the money man. If you got your stimulus check, his name was on it, unless Trump put his name on the check also. So anyway, but Mnuchin, if you notice, the only people that are volatile in Trump's cabinet that he gives a damn about is Mnuchin and Barr. the law man and the money man. That's all he give a shit about, because he know if you're protected with cash and protected with the law, you good. You're good. He can pardon anybody he wants to. Like we were saying earlier, how the gentleman's getting life, in jail for stealing some hedge cutters or whatever. And Trump then already gave, commuted the sentence of 3 or 4 different, these crooked guys was with him through the years. And they've been knowing Trump for 30, 40 years. They've been his cronies forever. And he pardoned all of them. Go away. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So the people that do the stuff they do and act the way they do, all these cops that are getting away with stuff, you don't think that Barr is calling these different municipalities and telling them to not arrest these different cops that are doing these different things to black people? Let them off? Like I told you, Barr is the boss of everybody. Of anybody that got to do with law enforcement, the district attorney of the United States of America runs everything that got to do with the law. Okay? And Mnuchin is running Internal Revenue, which got to do with every minute of every day, every time you punch that damn clock, every time you scratch your ass. If it got something to do with money, they know about it. You do something wrong with Internal Revenue, they'll show you the last time that you wrote a check, cash a check. Okay? They'll show you the last time you put a damn $5 bill in a go-go girl's goddamn G-string. They know it all. Okay? Internal Revenue will go up your ass like a drill and then hit the damn button and spin it in reverse. Ha! Ha! Welcome to my world. Ouch. Give it to me, everything. We're going to take your check, take your money, garnish your wages, the whole 9. And Trump is right involved with these 2 people. Remember that. He got the law and he got the money man. That man just signed off on, $2 trillion to it? I never heard the word trillion before Trump came in office. And you busted $1 trillion check? What? Damn. And you only gave everybody $1,200. And that's only if you made less than $75,000. Shit, for $1 trillion, you could have gave everybody $5,000 and still had change. That's a lot of damn money. That's $100 billion. Man, please, I'm gonna leave that alone. I just want to mention that tonight on my Living for the City. Just keep that in your back pocket on what Trump stays close to. Every time you see him doing a press conference, who's on his right and who's on his left? The law man and the money man. Think about it.
Follow the money.
Follow the money and follow the law. All I got to say
right.
on that.
All right. Oh, I wanted to add a little bit. You were talking about Megan.
Yeah.
She's a mess.
Yeah. She got a nice rack, though. She got a real nice rack, to be honest with you.
I just wanted to mention this. She had already mentioned
that cleavage is a month. Go ahead.
She had already mentioned that she was privileged. She already said that. We already know that.
Yeah.
And then she had to make a comment. It was a guest on there from Blackish, Yara Shadihi, the young lady,
right.
That plays the daughter on there.
Yeah.
And she talks. She speaks well.
Oh, she's grown.
And
she's a little girl, but Lord knows she's got a grown mind.
Right,
yeah.
but the way Megan had said after she was talking, after she finished, oh, you speak well. I said, your white ass need to sit your damn ass down.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to go through that TV.
Yeah.
I do too. And Whoopi looked at her like, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you speak so well for a Negro. You sound so intelligent.
Yeah, well, it took Megan's father to be a senator for her to get right. So anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, ain't that something? I always tell people that, the bad part about a lot of folks, especially white folks, is that they get into the privilege and then they come out to common folk acting like we don't know something that they just learned. It's almost like somebody tells you how to put the knife, fork, and spoon on either side, the right side of the plate, and then you go out the next day to your black friends acting like you know this shit so well when you just learned where the knife, fork, and spoon goes. You just learned the shit yesterday. Mm-hmm. And now you're talking to people like you are so you know the whole scheme on how to set a table. Everybody's so ignorant to the fact, that, oh, y'all don't know how to set a table? Let me show y'all. Well, that's because you clean houses of jokers and you see it every day, and now you're going to bring it to the hood like you such a pro at it when you do the shit for a living. You know what I'm saying? So, but I understand what you're saying, Ketel, how, how you're gonna look at the girl who's very versed, and now you're shocked because she ain't talking all tongue-tied and buckwheatish and all that stuff that she had. Megan is grown, and Megan ain't that old. I wouldn't give her no more than 36, 37 years old. Yeah. So what the hell does she know about shit?
Isn't she pregnant now?
Who knows? She fat.
I thought I heard her say at one point that she was expecting.
Well, she's thick with big titties. I can't tell whether the stomach or just
anyway, fat. We're going to move on to the wrap.
If you guys got any questions, comments about Megan or any damn body, hit us up tonight.
Give us a call.
914-803-4306. Give us a call. And
press 1. Press 1 if you already listened. Press 1. Get in the queue and tell us how you feel.
Lordy.
Tell me to shut up. Go to hell. Tell Redwine she's a Republican. Go to hell. Anyway.
Well, this is a good segue to my Hollywood wrap up. So I'm going to make
Ketel,
it short and sweet.
Ketel, can I interrupt you and take a caller before you go into the Hollywood wrap up?
We sure can. Come on with it.
All right, caller, welcome to the Pajama Party Show. Go right ahead with your comment.
Oh, my comment is y'all doing a great job, but I'm going to have to get on the front. You're welcome. I'm going to get a train with Redwine about that statement she made, and Poppa DD got all hot and not bothered.
Oh, man, you know what? She don't need no more fans,
Thank
man.
you, caller.
On. She's Republican, so right?
I am not.
I'm agreeing with you about the corporations and stuff, but one thing we got to remember, with those corporations, you made a valid point, and with those corporations also, this is not really relevant to what you were saying, but it's kind of. A lot of those corporations are tied into politics. Them big corporations, when you look at those corporations, look at their political affiliations and see where their money is going.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah,
and their money. Like Olive Garden, they donate to Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't know that. But, so you got to know those things, you know. So I'm kind of on her train, Poppa DD. So don't beat me and her up. All right.
All right.
Thank you, caller.
Well, I wear. As long as y'all think about me at Christmas time, I wear a double XL. And you know, so
I'm gonna order it from Amazon for you.
Yo, we got to order it from China, and they're going to come through Amazon.
That's right.
Oh, don't go there. All right. Well, okay. I'm double XL in shirts and drawers, especially drawers, because I'm hung low.
Here we go.
All right.
All right.
And you stop
I'm hung low, so double XL in the drawers.
Did you hear me? If you stop going to the ice cream truck, you will have some drawers.
All right, next caller. Boy, I tell you. Anyway.
We're going to take a little CC after this one. I want to regroup now.
We're going to take a CC and come back with the
thank you, caller.
Hollywood
that
wrap-up.
That was too funny.
All right.
Oh, my goodness. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we're going to take a little break and come back with the Hollywood wrap-up here.
Okay, we can do that, and we're coming right back.
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir, darling.
All right. We're going to turn over to Ketel for the Hollywood wrap-up. She'll show...
What's happening in Hollywood, Ketel?
Well.
You need your theme music?
Come on with it, Papa. Thank you very much. What we just talked about was a good segue to Al Roker. He has a new book coming out called "You Look So Much Better in Person." In his 44 career, he goes back to his first encounter with racism on the job. So his career at NBC began 24 years ago, in '78, with WKYC. It's an affiliate of Cleveland. So you already know Cleveland. So not only did the face of his first racist experience at work, it happened live on the air. So he talks about the story about this guy named Craig. He's a white guy from Cleveland. And the white guy had encountered a homeless man one night, and the guy rolled up a piece of paper and tapped him on the head. So when he comes to work the next day, he says to Al that your people, I was attacked by your people. So, he said this on air. He said, I was walking down the street and this homeless guy, which was black, tapped me on the head, and he said I got attacked by your people. And Al, he just like, why would you get attacked by a weatherman? He was more or less saying. So he kind of tried to make light of the situation. He did this on air, but that was his first encounter, he said, with racism as far as on the air. So, but everything is in his book called "You Look So Much Better in Person." So,
wow.
My girl Oprah Winfrey, she wants to be marching in honor of Breonna Taylor. Everybody knows that she's always on her old magazine. She's always on the front cover. She's going to pay tribute to Breonna Taylor and put Breonna Taylor on the front cover of the old magazine. For the first time in eons, 20-year history, she's going to pay tribute to her. So she goes on to say, it is my hope that if we continue to say her name, write her name, and let no one forget her life, the people who are responsible for killing her, those who remain complicit by doing nothing, shall be brought to justice. That's my girl. She said what she got to say. She puts it down. That's all I can say. So you got to go out and get
those people are still walking around free.
And that's a mess. I mean, they haven't even. I can't even get into that. They're gonna make me mad. Miss Nice, Ellen DeGeneres. She's been called on the carpet by Brad Garrett. Brad Garrett used to play in the show Everybody Loves Raymond. The tall guy with the black curly hair. He has called Ellen's staff out on the carpet, saying there's been some. He didn't really go into details, but he was saying that Ellen bears the responsibility of the workplace culture. And he's saying the culture in the workplace in Ellen's show was not, on the up and up. It's not a happy place, so to speak, as he tries to portray that it is. So she said they're going to be doing some investigation, and I guess we'll hear about it later. But she did apologize and said, my name is on, the sign, so I'm responsible. Sure. So, but he hasn't been on that show since 2007, so he's just coming out and talking about it. So, what went down, that's what I said, that's very odd. But, maybe something came to the forefront. He needed to, come out and say something. So.
Yeah, well, a lot of ladies come forward with their allegations with stuff years and years later, so go ahead.
That's true.
Just a second, I'm not going to step on it. Go ahead.
Last but not least, Kim Kardashian. She's torn over divorcing Kanye West. So they're not sure. She's going on another rant about he wants to become president and some other things. He had mentioned some personal things that only him and his wife knew. I think about her being pregnant, and she wasn't able to have other children, but he came out and told it anyway. But of course, he apologized, and he did buy a ranch, and he saves more on the ranch, and she visits him at least once a month, and that's it. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with that situation. Yeah. So maybe he can get himself together. You need to get some help, take some pills, or do something. But, so.
Yeah, he's crazy.
That's my Hollywood. Yeah, so something's wrong. But maybe he's got an imbalance, chemical imbalance or something. I don't know. But that's my Hollywood wrap-up. Yeah, it's not. You're right. So.
All right.
Thank you shall for see. You're welcome.
Well, let's see. That was a good segment, Ketel.
Thank you.
As we go into the kissing list after that, the first one I want to put on the kissing list is Kanye West, because it seems like, I don't know, it's just so sad. I always use a statement I always say that if I was a slave, I've been a dead slave. And I mean that sincerely because I know where my spirit is as far as taking crap from people that I know that are much more ignorant than I would ever be. You know, I think the biggest thing in life that has to do with racism is ignorance. And I think that Kanye West is a patsy of Donald Trump at this point because, see, what Donald Trump is trying to do is win this election. He'll do it by any means necessary. I think he's taken a page out of the book of Malcolm X by any means necessary. If you look at the followers that Kanye West has, if Kanye West has 1 million followers and he can divert 1 million votes to Kanye West, that's just a little tip of the iceberg to grab some votes away from. And if Kanye West is willing to do that, I mean, because it's just as crazy as, and I'm just going to get off of this in 1 second, but the gentleman who runs the housing area, what's his name again?
Ben Carson.
Ben Carson. You know, Ben Carson is down at the Great Blacks and Wax in Baltimore. Have you ever been to the Great Blacks and Wax in Baltimore? The wax museum they got there?
Yeah.
He has a wax figure in Baltimore for being a neurosurgeon.
Right.
You know, Ben Carson used to go in people's heads and fix it. You know how many families used to honor Ben Carson for saving their family members' lives by doing brain surgery on them? Do you realize that? And do you realize what Trump has reduced his intelligent ass to running the fucking housing department? Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, that's like taking me from being a surgeon to a fucking librarian. You know, I mean, I'm just putting that out there, which go to show you the mindset of some of our beautiful black people and how we can be reduced mentally to serve that white train that's controlling our membrane. And fucking Ben Carson used to adjust membranes, and now his own membrane has been adjusted by Donald Trump. And Kanye West, the same way. His shit is being adjusted. If you don't think that Donald Trump is behind the crap that Kanye's doing, then you are not paying attention to society. Anyway, so let's get with the kiss of this. First one to put on there is Kanye West, and we'll put Ben Carson while we at it. Let's put his ass on there for selling out, you know. Who else? Redwine. Put Redwine on there.
Well, then put Poppa DD on there.
She's been all in my ass tonight. Let's see. Okay, we got, let's see, Laura, the Virginia Mayor,
yeah, that was Luray. In Luray, Virginia. I'm putting the mayor of Luray, Virginia, his name is Barry Presgrave, for posting on Facebook that Joe Biden had picked Aunt Jemima as his running mate. So he thought it was funny.
Yeah, see,
so put his dumb ass on the
pea
kiss
brains.
list.
Ignorant pea brains, I'm telling you. Ignorant, and their brain ain't no bigger than a damn peanut. It's crazy. Anyway.
Also, the people of Aurora, the police department of Aurora.
Yeah, rural police department putting them kids on the ground with guns drawn on a 6-year-old.
Yeah,
Secret Service that went against the people at the World War II Memorial that set them up, wanted to shoot them.
Also, I've got ex-Trump aide and right-wing radio host Sebastian Gorka for suggesting that we just put teachers in body condoms or hazmat suits and send them on to school. He said, I don't care. Put them in a body condom or a hazmat suit.
And Jerry Falwell's son, who showed his ass, he got busted. He had his pants down and another lady had her pants down on the yacht, and they kicked him out of the Liberty College. He was a CEO or whatever, but that's just history repeating itself because I remember his father got rid of Tammy Faye Baker and Jim Baker when they were all messed up. Remember Tammy Faye was crying her makeup off her face, and Jerry Falwell came along and took the business from them, and now his son lost the damn business from being on a yacht messing around with another woman that wasn't his wife, and they got rid of his ass. So they history repeating. That's ignorant on ignorant. They all ignorant as hell.
Well, I've got Trump on the list for saying that Biden was against God.
Yeah.
And also for Trump for lying about giving a no drilling order off of Florida, which turned out to be a lie as usual. We got Hasbro, the toy company. Hasbro's on the list for making this female troll doll. You know, those little trolls? Hasbro got a troll doll out that now they've recalled that has a little voice-activated thing that's like right between the little doll's legs, and when you sit it down, it giggles. And they got the little thing right up in between the doll's legs. So when parents saw it, they were like, yo, hold up. This could get pedophiles going. Y'all need to take this back. So Hasbro has apologized for that one. You already said
Why
Kanye.
would you put a split between a goddamn doll's leg?
Why would you put the voice-activated box that makes her giggle up in between her crotch? That's insane. You already said Kanye. Congress for not being able to agree on the stimulus package. Did we say the Louisiana Supreme Court?
No, we didn't. Tell me.
For not letting that man get out of jail for the life sentence for stealing hedge clippers.
Hedge clippers. And Trump has pardoned every goddamn white crony he done knew. Meghan McCain, for her little racist ass, she's on the View like so neutral, but her racist bubbles pop out of her damn skin. But she got some nice ass titties on that to her. Anyway.
And the last one I have is Disney. I'm putting Disney on the list because I just found out today that Disney is charging $30 for that Mulan live action thing, and this is on top of Disney Plus. So they're saying if you got Disney Plus, which you already got to pay for, they're going to charge you $30 to see this damn Mulan because they're trying to make their money back because they kept delaying it, and now they can't hit the big screen.
But why does Disney have to make any money back?
So now they want to charge $30 on top of
Disney owns everything. What money they got to make
really?
back?
Really? $30? All right. We got anybody else, y'all, because we're running out of time.
That's it.
That's everybody? All right. Here's a prize for everybody on this week's Kiss It list.
Kiss my entire ass. Kiss my Irish ass. You better kiss my Irish ass. This world can kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. You can just kiss my ass. Baby, you can just kiss my ass. Oh, you can't kiss my country ass. I said if you got a problem with any of that, you can kiss my natural born redneck to the bone, ever-loving country ass. That's right.
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. One host, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Swai, darling. And we're up to the last word. So what's your last word, Poppa DD?
My last word is that I just want to definitely, again, give my condolences to Ketel on the passing of your brother. Sincerely, I consider him a friend, a mentor, a very educated man, a very soft-spoken brother who spoke the truth about his life and who he was and was real about who he was. And this was so smart, so educated. I mean, I just love the brother's intellect. And when he talked, I just listened. And God bless his soul, his spirit. And I hope that your family recovers from that in God's speed. And God bless you guys. And you have my condolences completely.
And this is Redwine. And my last word is, of course, my condolences as well. I considered him as a cousin to me. So I'm going to miss my cousin and his jokes and his laughter.
Everything.
And I just want to say, like I said, check your sources. Before you jump on somebody, check your sources. If you're going to come for them, come correct. That's my last word. Over to you, Cal.
Well, my last word, thank you for the condolences. I appreciate that. Also, for the gentleman that called in earlier about this story about the guy that's supposed to have stolen the hedge clippers, we need to wake up. We might get back out there and start marching like George Floyd. But this man, he deserves another chance. Just the attempt of him stealing some hedge clippers, he might not have taken them. He was attempting to take them. So for the Supreme Court, that was the Supreme Court of Louisiana, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully it will get to the big wigs, Supreme Court here, and things will be overturned. So we're going to pray for the brother and his family, and Godspeed to them too. So that's my last word.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we want to thank everybody for hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate the callers.
Yeah, thank you.
And thanks to our parent company, DC Homegrown Entertainment. Again, our condolences to Ketel's family. We're here for you. If you need anything, call on us. We'll do what we can. We got your back. We'll do it again. Let's see. Not next Friday. Friday after next.
Yeah.
Next week will be pre-recorded, so you can still check us out. We'll give you some information and make you smile. But we'll be live again Friday after next. So, again, thanks for hanging out. We're going to say goodnight and get on out of here. Say goodnight, Papa.
Good night, everybody.
Say goodnight, Ketel.
Good night.
And good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging with us. We're out.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
Is it all over, Rock?
I guess so.
I bid you farewell, arrivederci, sayonara, and all that sort of jazz.
Well, I say when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Well, good night.
Yabiko. Sana.
I regret to announce this is the end. I'm going now.
Good night, and good luck.
Was it as good for you as it was for me?
Now give me a kiss and say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you for attending our show, and good night.
Party crew, people will for you. No clothes allowed. It's summer party. Grown and sexy, join the party. Good summer party. Party crew, people will for you. No clothes allowed. It's summer party. Grown and sexy, join the party. Good summer party. Party crew, people will for you. No clothes allowed. It's summer party.